Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Chelsea Explained as we're losing the London Derby against Arsenal away as expected. And in this video I want to focus on that we have so many problems and issues, and I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but it needs to be said again and again. But it's gonna be more focused towards Maresca and the squad building. Personally, I think I had enough of this positional play. I don't think it's for me, it's not for us. It could work, if he's getting backed in the market and getting players that can actually play this type of way, like Pep Guardiola and Mikel Arteta has been backed to some extent. Pep Guardiola's got been backed insanely much with every player he needs. And if Maresca is not going to get back, then I don't think his positional style of play is gonna help us compete and win trophies. We might achieve top 4 here and there. We might compete a little bit, in Champions League if we get it, or Europa League, but I don't think it's gonna be enough to take us the whole way. But we're gonna get more into this briefly around the match. I think Arsenal fully deserved the victory, even if it was from a set piece. I mean, our attack looking completely toothless. They were in full control, and we barely created anything. They could have been 2-3-0 up after 20 minutes because Sanchez were gifting the opponent chances. We had defenders being left on the ground eating dust by Arsenal players. We were lucky that VAR didn't intervene and looked for a possible penalty, because I thought it looked like Cucurella took down the ball with his arm. Like, the only dangerous chance I can remember in this game is Cucurella received the ball from a rebound and had a shot nearly at the edge of the box, and David Raya almost made a completely howler. But the luck wasn't on our side there. In the 20th minute, the set piece specialist team, Arsenal themselves, of course, scores from it. Odegaard with assist, Merino with a header. It's the only goal in the game that helps them get the victory. In the second half, we tried to step up a little bit. We're stepping up in possession game, defensively wise, but, creating those chances, breaking Arsenal down. I mean, we didn't have a chance there, and Arsenal could sit back comfortably, see out the victory, and claiming 3 points. The positive thing, I guess, is that we're still in top 4. Now it's international break. We get to rest our minds, and some players get to rest their bodies, have a break from Chelsea, come back, and it's time to then play every game as it is a final. We will have 9 games left before the season ends, and gaining Champions League football is going to be the priority. Now, I think Arsenal showed more, assertiveness, desire, and determination to win this game. I think some of our players showed it, but it's simply not enough. The club's mentality comes from the one above, as well as from the manager and some of the players you have in this team. We don't have any leaders to set high standards, as we know. Arsenal have that in abundance, especially in the team. They have leaders, Mikel Arteta. Every player is playing for Mikel Arteta. Maybe they don't have the best owners, but at least they're building the squad in his image and having a nice balance compared to our team. And we can get into that now, because there are problems in this team I want to try and explain, but it's gonna be more focused on Maresca and the squad building. First of all, Maresca's positional style of play might not be for me or for Chelsea. As I touched upon briefly, if he's not gonna get back, then get players that is specialist on positional play, has work ethic, can press high, has technical abilities, tactical understanding. I don't think we're gonna come that far with Maresca. I just have that feeling after what I've seen this season. And I don't think it's for me either. We play too many balls sideways and backwards, but that's not really my sole issues. You can do that. You can dominate possession heavily, control games in that matter, but we're doing it to an extreme extent. I would love if we could also try to utilize the strength in this team, which is to go on direct counterattacks. We have players that can pick out those passes. We have pacey guys like Pedro Neto who can run in behind. And we when you're playing this positional style of play, Maresca wants his players to invert either into the midfield or in this makeshift back three, or they're gonna attack the half spaces. They can also have a free role like Marco Cucurella. But seeing like James as a defensive midfielder, it doesn't sit well with me. I think he has some of the abilities to fulfill that role. But he hasn't played that much throughout his career. I would rather simplified for him playing as a wide center back in his makeshift back three or as a full back. That's gonna assist in the final third. Maybe he can't do that anymore, but then he can be utilized as a wide center back at least. We like to blame a lot of the players. I think some of these players showing poor attitude. This is like going on and on every single game recently. And I think some of these players is simply not believing in Maresca, and they don't like the roles they're being utilized in. I mean, we heard Maresca mention that Nkunku is not a striker, he's not a winger, but he continuously playing him there. Today, Palmer didn't feature because he was injured, which is really poor news. He's gonna have a scan, potential muscle injury, could be out for weeks. We don't know yet. But this was a perfect game for Nkunku to actually play as a number 10 in the half space. But he wasn't allowed to do that because Maresca decided, you know what, I'm gonna play Enzo Fernandez there instead. There's plethora other examples, like for example the way he's using our goalkeeper Robert Sanchez. Fantastic shot stopper, but playing out from the back, he simply cannot do it. We've seen it. But still, Maresca is forcing him to play out from the back when he can't do that. And then Robert Sanchez is getting all the blame. I'm not gonna go fully and blitzing these guys and attack them because I feel like it's the gaffer that's setting the foundation, the tactics, the roles and instructions out there. I like to think, from another perspective, if these players had, for example, Luis Enrique, Nagelsmann, Hansi Flick, even if Tuchel was still here, Xavi as manager, would we seen a different Chelsea? Could these guys get the players to actually click and perform? I really think so. I think we would see better attacking patterns. I understand the feel that from Maresca that when you have key players out for a style of play like Madueke, Nico, and now Palmer as well, you had Lavia for fun out. I feel for him. I understand that stifles your philosophy. But you're gonna have to be flexible and versatile and come up with other ideas. He has tried to adapt now for some games, but it doesn't work. Then you have to continue to tweak stuff and experiment stuff when you see it's clearly not working in that attack. Honestly, I'm getting very tired of this position style of play, and I don't think it is something for us. And as I touched upon, the terms of squad building. If the gaffer is not going to get players that he needs, I don't think he's going to succeed here. It's going to be very difficult for any manager to succeed here at Chelsea. And I want to mention this as well. Does Maresca actually deserve being backed? I like the quote Tuchel once said, there is no long term without the short term. If Maresca is not achieving, Champions League football and winning Conference League, I don't think he deserves being backed. So, but if he achieves that, then sure, you're gonna get 3, 4, 5 players that you need for a system, and you get another year to show what you're all about. And I think we're gonna see a better Chelsea then. But are the owners willing to do that? Nope. They continue signing youngsters left, right, and center I couldn't even be bothered talking about because I'm so sick of it. Signing another 17-year-old like we haven't signed 20 already. Unless I'm seeing in the summer that we're signing elite players and experience, I'm not believing it now. I have to see it with my own eyes to believe it. It feels like we're going on another rebuild every summer. 8-10 players getting sold, we're getting 8-10 players in, you know. I think it is important to keep, you know, continuity and also back a manager, you know, give it time for things to click. But, you know, if you can't prove yourself in the short term, I'm not gonna believe in you and give you the time in the long term. I can be patient, but you're gonna have to prove me something that you deserve to be giving that time. And also, I think Maresca's mentality is at rock bottom in the current moment. If I were a player, I don't think I would get inspired by listening to him. I don't know what he says in the dressing room, but from the press conference and post-match interviews, I'm not getting inspired because there's always the focus on something else, always blaming someone else, never takes accountability, never says how it actually is. Arsenal, they look poor in the attack, you know, they don't look like they did last season, but they also have some key players injured. They're playing without a striker, but you know they still know how to get into those right position, how to control games. They still manage to find victories despite not having the striker. Arteta is finding solutions, and we're simply not there. If you're thinking about it, and as I touched upon, sounds like a broken record. If you're looking at the attacking players today, like, do they actually suit the way we're trying to play today? Maybe some of them do. But like, it's constantly misprofiling. We're lacking these attacking patterns, the way how we want to define our attack, where we want to create chances, where we want to score most of our goals from. I think we're lacking that massively. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, how you feel around it. Do you still believe in Maresca's positional place? Is it something for you, or would you rather have another manager? And do you think another manager like Nagelsmann, Luis Enrique, etc., would utilize these players better? Because I think Maresca is holding them back by they by that some of these players cannot have freedom. They have to follow the plan to a T under Maresca and can't abandon it. So I will happily read your thoughts in the comments down below. If you're brand new here, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my page, hit that notification bell so you never miss when the content drops, and Chelsea Explained is out.